Should be good to go, I think. I want to read through some of these suggestions real quick because I haven't read them properly yet. Aztec Death Whistle. Aztec Death Whistle. Okay, yeah, so it's like a double suggestion. So Aztec Death Whistle for basically an item to lure the creature, the cryptids, and a medical system basically. They're suggesting it seems like the creatures have like more custom attacks, essentially, like status effects. It's pretty cool. Again, some more attacks for the Wendigo. Leitu, oh gosh, that's a tough one to pronounce. Leitu Kamikaz? How's it going? I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Nice to see that. You've caught us right at the start as we're starting up. I'm just quickly catching up on the Discord. Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing good. Just about to start some map stuff. I've been doing a little bit off stream, but I thought I'd stream for a couple of hours, show you what I'm up to. I was just going through some suggestions on the Discord real quick to see what people are talking about. Probably sure what the suggestion is there. Had a quick question, go ahead. Voice lines, yeah, we can look at that, that's cool. Alright, did I post? I did. Am I working on this game solo? Yeah, I am. Yep. I've had a contractor or different contractors on and off in the past. But yeah, for the most part, and currently doing this solo. Just me, no publisher to tell me what to do. Just get rid of this tree that's annoying me in the middle of the lake here. There's actually a few of them. There's not supposed to be anything here. We need to do the texturing for the underwater stuff and the beachfronts and that, but ultra kill, that's impressive. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's definitely like a lot of work, and it's like doing it solo means you have to like do a lot of different things. Like when I was in game development, like at a company, I could just like focus on. I was basically gameplay programming. I could just like focus on that, and the artists and animators and that would handle all the other stuff. But yeah, solo means you got to basically just like try to learn how to do pretty much everything yourself, which is tricky, but that's cool though. Doing good. Incredible work. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely something anyone could do. It's nothing special, but it does take a lot of work. So as you can see, I'm not sure if any of you guys were here in the last stream, but we're basically going to put in a bridge in this section. So between streams, I've kind of tidied this area up a bit and kind of planned out exactly how, well, not exactly, but like more or less how it's going to go. So we're just going to be basically pottering around with map stuff today. I might go ahead and look at actually modeling the bridge, but I don't want to get too stuck in details right now. So I kind of want to keep doing what we're doing and laying out the flow better of this map. So yeah, like this is the location we did last stream, in case you haven't seen it. One of the radio towers. Hey Jenny, how's it going? Oh, I'm in multiplayer, hang on. I'll just make it one client. Totally get collapsed. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be partially collapsed. So yeah, in case you haven't seen, this is one of the spots we did last time on stream. You can see I've added a few more distant meshes. I need to do a few more things like that. Yeah, and then some lighting and stuff in here. So anyway, that's what we did last time. That's not what we're focusing on today. But oh, I'll make it more like midday. I basically want to continue blocking out the layout of the map. It's not really the block out, it's more the first pass of the dividing up the areas more or less. So I'm going to continue on with that today. But yeah, I did decide to go ahead and as I think it was Demonic, can't remember, suggested yesterday about the river having the bridge between the two kind of islands you can see here. They weren't islands before, it was all connected. I was going to have a bridge in the background, but yeah, and I think it's a much better idea to do this. So yeah, another thing I was thinking is I might look at making the background elements a little beefier, just to add some more visual interest to the horizon like that. It's a bit stretched now. I'm not sure why these assets are so messed up, to be honest. Yeah. Probably because I scaled the hell out of them, I guess. But having more interesting horizons is going to help the feel of the map as well. As you can already kind of tell, like that one's probably like a little bit overkill now. Just hints of it. I'll add more, but yeah, I think that's going to be good. And then we've got these really distant ones for some reason. I don't know why this is all like merged together either. I need to figure that out. But yeah, that helps make it feel like the map is bigger than it is, basically, is why I do that. Do you think the Mothman would be able to fly? Yeah. That's the plan. That is the plan. Yeah, so we kind of laid out the towers the other day too, which is interesting because the way the river cuts through, it actually lines up one of the towers we placed like on the other side of the bridge, which wasn't necessarily something I was planning on, but it's kind of cool actually to do that. So we'll probably like adjust some of this around here to be more like this kind of thing. Some of these you probably won't actually like go into as a player, but some of them you will, and it'll basically just depend how much time I have to work on some of these. But it just helps, yeah, again, just create interesting like environment design. I mean, that's just begging for like a dock or something now, so yeah. You should add a fog that can roll down around night 2 to 3 that prevents players from seeing too high. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. like a really dense fog. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll write that down. Really nice so far. I appreciate it, yeah. Still definitely like not, well, definitely not finished, but like there's only a few areas that are even sort of like semi kind of brought up to more or less gameplay level. Like a lot of it is still just, you know, like empty space like this that I'm working on filling out. But we're getting there. We're getting there ever so slowly. Well, not really slowly. Kind of slowly, but yeah, we're getting there. But yeah, so I basically want to continue to focus on this part of the island today. And see where we go from there. So I'm actually going to put a few of these... I quite like these. As just like, basically like giant fences, more or less. Place would be possibly block that sightline too hard, but we could possibly do something up here. And then I'm gonna have to have some other stuff around here, so it's not just sitting there like that. But yeah, actually, there's an idea. Have this one partially out into the water. Which would be interesting, because this is like reasonably military World War II inspired. This part of the map, or at least that era. So, yeah, having stuff like this around, I think, helps it feel like it's been used for something at some point. So yeah, it's pretty good. And this guy we'll just put over here somewhere. I need to obviously go through. These are like kind of minor locations that you'll just probably get some loot and stuff at. They do have kind of interiors, but I'm going to have to... The ones I want to actually turn into proper gameplay, I'm going to have to go in and, you know, do some level stuff around it and whatnot. But, yeah, so this is pretty good. I need to change some of these paths now that we have the bridge here, but, let's see. So we were thinking of having the player start here. This is now underwater. I've changed, you probably noticed, when I did the river here, it's probably like more details than you need, but basically the height map I used when I made the height map for this map that it's based on, the lowest black point of that height map texture was like, I don't know, like a meter or less below the water surface, which meant I couldn't lower the map any lower than that. So this river was like, you know, like this deep, was like basically like a puddle. So I had to fiddle around with the scale of everything, which meant I did change the water level slightly, so the shape of the islands is slightly different, because the water level basically raised a bit, which created some of these new shorelines. Like this didn't used to be underwater, but now it is. But I kind of like it, to be honest. I kind of like that it's created some more interesting kind of areas around here, rather than just flat landscape. So I'm gonna have to come... This part I haven't really done much with yet, so I'll come to this part of the island at some point. But the island has been split in two. It has indeed. This is gonna have to be somewhere else now. Because we've got kind of like, now we've got kind of like three-ish main story locations on this island, and then three-ish on this side as well, which is cool. That. And I do have ideas for these as well, what these will be and what they mean and stuff, but I'll save that for another day, because they may not become that, but we'll see. I do have some thoughts, like you can probably tell by the way I've kind of laid them out. but they also help just like give interesting background elements to the sky and whatnot. So yeah, anyway, stop getting distracted. Let's get into it. Wild guess. Right. So if I look at this, got this kind of laid out. There's not much going on here. We've got this kind of area up here near the radio tower. And the bridge, the problem is like, what does the bridge go to? So I'm probably going to have to put something here. It's kind of weird because it's like, in real life, this bridge was like a massive bridge, I think between two parts of the city or between two cities. And obviously, because this is a video game, it's kind of like a smaller implied setting, so it's not like I'm gonna build two major cities for this hunt. So I need to figure out something to put on this side that would mean they would have a reason to get across here, unless I do something where like the whole more or less outside of this part is like fortified, so that you can't really this would be the only access point more or less. So radar to find the Mothman. Oh, yeah, interesting. Keep viewers. Man, that's annoying. I really, surely there's a way I can just like put in like that text and it just auto bans that message or something. I get that usually multiple times every stream. Anyway, I'm just going to do a little more of this kind of thing to lay out the rocks and whatnot, so that I can get a little bit of a feel for what areas we have and what I want to put where. So I'm just going to steal a few of these rock formations rather than building them by hand. So here's the only one of these things that is potentially going to be actually accessible. So it might be a good idea. Sort of, yeah. Sort of have this a little more closed in case I do want to build an actual area here. And the rocks just help it look like, when you just have like a pure landscape like this, obviously I need to do the different textures on the shore and stuff. It just doesn't like, what am I trying to say? It doesn't have as much interest because it's not being broken up. It's just like a texture change along this line. So that's why I like, for this map, doing these rocks and stuff to help break up, like, I did it along the river basically. You can see like there are parts where it is like that, and there's parts where it's rocks or cliffs or whatever instead. Will Mothman be able to die to gas cans? Oh, the yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be harder though, but yeah, it's I forgot you're the pyrotechnic of Liquid Donkey Games, right? Yeah, so there's stuff I could do here that could be quite cool. Maybe we'll do it real quick, just so I can. This isn't the island we're supposed to be working on, but part of working on this part of the island is how it looks when you look across. So I think I might real quick just do a basic did make some prefabs, but I don't know if any of these are going to be decent. For what I'm thinking here. This in the layout. Where did that just dock to? Ah. feel having there be some abandoned small camp could be cool, like near some poor souls that thought it would be fine to tent up. Yeah, that could be cool. Like we could actually do like a like maybe like some amateur cryptid hunters or something like that. Could be interesting. Like I don't know. We'll have to see. But that, yeah, definitely some form of civilization here, right? I think is what you're saying. Just not a city, like, yeah, some camps or cabins or something. I do have ideas of 2, possibly 3 factions for this map, like for the story, so I might be able to use some of them as well. Anyway, what I was thinking for this, it's kind of hard to see with this lighting. What time of day it looks. Okay, none of them. So that's an angled wall, we don't want that. I'm just going to try and build out like some sort of fortification here that comes out a little bit from the cliff. Why are these angled though? It's the straight walls. Meter, 8 meter. Definitely probably want to be looking for the 8 meters for this, because we've got quite a big area to fill out. So we'll just go with this. And I'm gonna have to, sorry, go unlit mode for this, which looks really ugly, but it's just too hard to see what's happening over here if I don't do this. So let's see, let's just build out. Let's just experiment for a second here. If we had something like this, we could go down one more, and then not entirely sure what I'd do at the bottom. I guess it would just have to keep going down, but that looks kind of ugly, but I guess it would. It's kind of the only way to make this make sense. They wouldn't just like build half a wall. Okay, and now we just have this massive flat thing that looks pretty ugly. So what I would do maybe is grab these ones, and we could pop these out slightly more, and that will help break up the fact that it was just flat like that. Okay, now if I do grab one of these 4 meter ones, chat in a second. I'm sure you guys have said something. I'm just thinking as I'm doing this, so I'm trying to see what's happening here. So then this one goes back like that. It's kind of confusing because like some of the tops of these meshes and stuff don't actually have any geometry, so it's hard to know what is where sometimes, but basically like that. I'll just do the other side and then I'll look at chat. I mean, I think you can kind of get what I'm going for over this side maybe now. Something like this. You can maybe make a zigzag stairs to dock at the river for boats and stuff. Yeah. Man, actually... I don't know. I really shouldn't feature creep on that, but like that is actually kind of an interesting idea, is having a boat that you can drive. That would be like an interesting mechanic for this map, but don't really know if I want to. It's, yeah, definitely take that on board. That's cool. You could also make that have drain pipes that make water drop into the river. Yeah, cool. Man, you're on fire with these ideas, Demonic. This whole river was your idea. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should line up. This. Okay, so now we've got like kind of a rough shape to work with, and I can just decorate from here. But yeah, then what I was thinking is like on top. Again, this isn't really like what we're supposed to be working on this side of the river, but it's gonna, I think, help add interesting stuff to look at from this side. Like if I make this bunker accessible, which clearly it's not right now, but you would actually be able to see some cool stuff rather than just cliffs. Most of it will be cliffs, but I've broken it up with a couple of things. So I think this will be good. So now let's just find, where is the, I guess just floor 8 meter, whatever. What's up with the freaking invisible? Thing that is that. Hopefully that's 50. It is nice. Because I will trim this as well, but it's just yeah, making sure that's going to line up. Because I'm using this kit, I need to make sure I kind of stick more or less with the grid for the most part. So this will probably become one of the minor locations. Lighting there. Is, oh, because we're intersecting here by a meter. Okay. Let's see. I think my options are basically go up or go down. So I think let's go up. Grab this whole thing. Okay, this is like kind of sidetracked from what I was planning on doing, but it's kind of, I don't know if it's a good process, but it is kind of my process with level design, is just kind of just look at it and see what kind of ideas pop out from looking at it, and just go with it, really. I don't know, I feel like if I think something looks cool, then hopefully other people will. But yeah, it's not, I guess, a very scientific way of doing this. You can probably just, rather than having a whole ton of meshes there, like for performance reasons, I guess we'll just do something like that. Now it's 2 meshes instead of me duplicating that wall over and over again. I do have to be careful though, because I don't really want players going down here, because like there's no swimming or anything in the game. So I gotta be careful, yeah, like about not encouraging people to actually go down these areas, down these cliffs. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. I probably could have taken that up one more, but that's right. I may ask, how big will this map be compared to the Wendigo map? I think it's like slightly, or like a bit bigger than the Wendigo map, the Night of the Wendigo, but it's a little bit hard to say until I finish. There's going to be a lot more density in this map, or like stuff to do and places to see and stuff. But I think I'm pretty sure you mean in terms of actual like where like playable space. I think it's going to be slightly bigger than that, but smaller than the vampire hunt, the Bloodfang hunt. But yeah, it's hard to say until I finish it off, because like I'm also toying with the idea if I need more playable space of adding in another part of the island or whatever. So not really sure just yet, but it's kind of what I'm thinking. I think that's a pretty good size, and I think it's important to focus more on the density of stuff to do than just running through forests for hours on end. Like, I could make a huge map but only have like 2 locations, and that would be boring, you know. So it just depends how much like interesting stuff I can come up with to add, really. Yeah, okay, so now let's just cap this off, which we can do like this. They're actually a meter thick, I didn't realize that. Just want to get like enough of the idea in here that I can potentially leave it and come back to it and remember what I was thinking, what I wanted to do. Because there's still a couple of ideas. Like I was thinking I want to put like some buttresses, I think those are called, and then maybe some circular like lookout bunkers on the sides. Because I guess I haven't said this yet, but a lot of the Mothman lore is tricky because there's multiple kind of implied origins of the Mothman. But the one I'm taking the most inspiration from is the TNT area, what's it called? You know, the Silver Bridge around. Damn, I've forgotten the. I don't have my. Oh, do I have it here? No, it's somewhere else. I can't remember the name of the town, but anyway, the point is that there's a lot of like old military, like abandoned military stuff in that area, that a lot of the sightings and stuff are reported in. So that's why bunkers and old abandoned military World War II stuff is kind of like prevalent in this map. Like it's a big design element. It's not going to be the only design element, but they're the biggest kind of set pieces, so that I need to get them in first so that I can put other stuff. What if the Mothman was very powerful, like 2 hit point powerful, like 2 hit powerful, and the way to damage him would be to get in bunkers and shoot him from there? You mean like taking cover in the bunkers, basically, like from aerial attacks? If you shoot him too much, in the same place, he will find your location. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like that. I hadn't thought about that actually. Like I thought about like how much I want like kind of aerial cover and stuff to be playing into this hunt, because of his flying mechanics, which is why we have some of these like denser areas, and I've got a lot of these rocks to kind of like hide in amongst. But yeah, I hadn't specifically thought about the fact that obviously when you're in one of these bunkers, you know, like imagine you were a helicopter, like why would you hide in the forest if you just hide in a bunker? So yeah, that's cool. I'll definitely like think about that. It's quite cool. There's supposed to be, I'm not sure if I'll get this in or change the idea, but there's supposed to be kind of like a quite a large bunker complex. Let's just do a quick intermission because I'll show you some of the like reference and stuff now that I can show this stuff. Um, like a lot of the stuff I've been looking at to get inspiration. It's a tough balance, and I hope people are happy with what I'm doing and what I've decided to do because it's like I'm trying to balance like if people just want the like as rules as written Mothman lore, you just like watch a documentary, right? So I'm trying to like take as much of the inspiration of that and create my own kind of like unique spin on Mothman and unique kind of map and lore and stuff, but it's like it's clearly inspired by that stuff, but not just like I'm not just like literally trying to recreate that area or something. I do kind of like, and actually you guys might have some insight on this. I do kind of get a little bit like of self doubt sometimes about that, whether people are happy with me kind of like having creative liberty like that. Because like I don't think I've said publicly yet, but the actual kind of like backstory and like stuff of the Mothman is going to be discovered in this hunt, and it does take inspiration from real stuff, but um it's not like one for one. So yeah, it's something I worry about sometimes. But hopefully, if people are buying this game and playing it, they want to see my rendition of these creatures. Like I guess that's part of what you're buying into, right? I don't know. It's just something I kind of like go back and forth in my head over of like, oh, will people like be, too upset? Like, how much can I put my own ideas into this versus staying true to the law? So I don't know. It's a tricky one. Like, and anyway, the point was the bunkers. You'll see as we look through some of these, like I'll show you, some of the source videos and stuff I've been looking at. Look different and are kind of laid out a bit different, and the whole map is. But I call it a map. It's real life. It's a game developer and me. But I'm trying to like create a fun gameplay experience, but be inspired by a lot of this stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. This is why I was asking for a graffiti artist in Discord the other day, by the way. So if anyone wants to try that, go for it. Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna get a bunch of like stuff online of like I'm not gonna hire an artist for it. I'll just get some pre-made stuff. But yeah, you can see like this is more kind of what the actual area in what's the place called? Point Pleasant. That's the one. It's actually like kind of a bit more what do you call this? Almost like swampy and way denser foliage. But compared to what I'm trying to go for, I'm going for slightly more of like a rocky, still kind of dense feel and more open because like in my head anyway, if you're playing like this just isn't enough gameplay space. Like you couldn't really walk through that. It just doesn't work for me. So I'm trying to be inspired by these kind of videos, but like have my own version. Like you can see the colors of the trees. I've tried to kind of like even down to that give the impression that it's kind of that area. I don't know where the red ones have gone. Maybe I changed something, but yeah, what the fuck? Weren't these trees red in the last tree? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I kind of just rambling. I always get embarrassed about how much I ramble, but I have difficulty getting what's in my head out into words. But hopefully you can tell what I'm trying to say. Like these areas are cool, but like the further I go towards like exactly emulating this real stuff, the less kind of like dramatic and interesting the gameplay will be. But there are hopefully I'm not gonna get like my VOD taken down for showing YouTube, by the way. But I can't remember where it is, but in one of these videos there's like um like actual kind of connected complexes, and I was kind of thinking I might do something like that basically. Creative spin like unexpected. Do you live on the east or west coast of New Zealand? I live on the east coast, I guess. I mean, New Zealand, you can like literally drive to the other coast of New Zealand, and it takes like an hour maybe. Actually, side tangent again. I'm not going to show you exactly where I live unless Google just straight up doxes me, which luckily it didn't. But this is the town I live in Dunedin, in New Zealand. I've lived in a few places, but yeah, you can drive like across here in probably like more like 2 to 3 hours. So I guess that's what we call that East Coast. East Coast, I guess, of New Zealand. West Coast side of America. I was hoping to make it to GDC in San Fran this year, but it's not going to happen. I went to Hawaii last year. Um, but yeah. Oh, and last year I went to Germany as well, and from New Zealand. That was brutal, man. Flew from Dunedin down here to, I think it was Auckland, or might have been Christchurch. I think it was Auckland, and then all the way to. Oh no, I'm gonna show you how bad I am with geography. Um, where is, yeah, Singapore? So flew from here. That was like 18 hours or something. And then from there all the way to Germany, and the whole trip was like 30 hours. It was brutal, and we flew over like I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this on stream. But it was like flying over some of these areas. I was like, should we like maybe take the long route? But anyway, yeah. How did I get this distracted on Google Maps? I'm supposed to be making. Anyway, there you go. Welcome to my ADHD brain all over the place. And I'm out of every drink I have. I'm out of coffee. I'm out of Coke. You live in Canada? Oh, nice. I have family in shit maps. I really want to go to Canada um one day. I have family in what is it called? The names of Alberta, yeah. Uh, I'll be able to find the exact place, but somewhere around here. I would know it if I saw the name. I forget. But yeah, in Alberta, got some family. Just like to warn you. Oh God, what have I done? Have I doxed myself or something? Well, which is fine. I mean, you know my name, so. Um, I'd just like to warn you: if you come to Canada, don't go to major cities. Oh, why? Right next to Ottawa, Ottawa, right there. Um, oh, I see. Yeah. I mean that's yeah, that is the tricky thing. I mean, I actually like got in trouble with some of my friends when I went to GDC for the first time in San Fran because like I'm from a small town in New Zealand and we don't, usually have problems with that kind of thing, and half the time we don't even have to lock our doors and whatnot. But yeah, I was like walking around in what turned out to be a pretty dangerous area of San Francisco at night, and I didn't even think anything of it. But then I came back and I'm like, you probably almost got mugged, my friend. So that was a bit of a wake up call. I can't find some of the actual references I was looking for. I should have. Maybe I'll prepare this for next stream if I can't find them. But there were basically these videos of people kind of walking around the area. Yeah, stuff like this. I don't know if this is the exact one.
Changed into tennis shoes and pants.
Where are you going? There was one I looked at that they were going through all the bunkers. But anyway, I can't remember what we were even talking about. But that's kind of like my idea with this map. Basically, is like have it definitely inspired from that area and some of the elements, but not be literally that area. It's like kind of, yeah, what I think are the cool parts of that lore. Anyway, let's quickly sort this last part of this thingy here. I think for this I could probably use prefabs. Like I think I have, yeah. I've only got one circle one. These are like just like they're still the individual pieces, but they're just I've kind of put them together in a shape that makes sense. I don't have to build it completely manually. Lined up because this kind of military stuff is usually pretty well lined up. And really, I would like it to actually come out a bit. This is actually, the scale's a little off from what I thought. This was bigger than it is. The wall I was making. Because now that is way bigger than I kind of expected. But I was kind of thinking something like that. But that's probably going to be a bit extreme now that I look at it. We're probably... I should just do... something more along these lines. I need to put that music back on. Lighting so I can see better. I don't like it. I don't like it. Not sure what I'm going to do about that then. A idea is possibly not going to work as well as I thought it might. The way I could think to maybe do this would be to have it I just messed up the scale a little bit here from what I was kind of intending. If I was to do this again, I would bring this bit down. But that's alright. That's fine. Whatever. We can figure something out. Like basically what I could do would be up. A few more. Probably more than I need. The actual area here is not really the important part. It's more like I'm less interested in what is actually here. I'm more interested in how cool it looks from this side. So I think raising it up would have been the go. I might have to do that real quick. Sorry. I know this is me just kind of faffing around, but it's kind of, as I said, that's kind of my process with making maps, is kind of a lot of faffing, a lot of just like try things out until I kind of just stumble across the like what I'm looking for. Like I kind of know sort of what I want this to look like more or less, but I just need to kind of mess with it until I see it, if that makes sense. Like I'll know it when I see it type thing. Like I'm not a good enough artist to just ahead of time so ahead of time like make a plan, I guess. I kind of just have to trial and error my way through some of this stuff. I'm definitely not a very good level designer, but I do my best. So what we actually really want to do is probably sit somewhere we actually want this to look cool from, and then mess with the silhouette so that it does. Yeah, there we go. Alternatively, down. Ooh. Down. Definitely down. Okay, we've got it. So yeah, that's what I was looking for, is some difference in height between these things. Too far down though. Yeah, there we go. That kind of gives the effect I was looking for. Now I'll quickly block this off, and then obviously we need to actually it's just a big concrete block right now. We'll do what we did with the tower the other day, but I'm not sure if we'll do that today or not, because I kind of want to save this island for its own pass and just focus on that first island. But yeah, so it's a big concrete block, but now I can actually probably get away with doing something interesting in the middle there. I'm not sure what it'll be yet, but probably some sort of actual location. That's going to be too big. We need something better than that. The door on this even that side. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting something more like what I'm after. Because I don't know if you can imagine, but like when I have the trims and stuff on here and the buttresses, like just to show you real quick, I'm not going to build much more of this, I think, but you know, once I do the pass with these things and like various other bits and pieces, I think the silhouette will really come to life. Yeah. Alright, quickly put those on the other side since I've done it now. And yeah, obviously other trims, I need to now do something below here, but yeah, I think I'm happy with this. Probably even just slide that back, that's probably good enough, yeah. Let's try not overhang it, because it makes sense if you were in here to actually like be able to see out over the water rather than just like that. It's like like a bunker that's supposed to be for defense and you can't actually really see the water very well. It's gonna have to be pretty close to the edge, but I mean, details like that or whatever, creative license. Maybe towards the 3rd to 4th night, the Mothman could attack the bridge, making it harder to get across. Would make for a new challenge, since when you're on the bridge, you're also very exposed to attacks. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, like attacks on the bridge. Yeah, so I'm planning on having the bridge be not accessible to cross at the start until you've visited and gained a few things from the locations around this side. But yeah, then eventually you will be able to cross it. Alright, let's save this. I'm happy with like the idea behind this now. It just needs more, a little more work and possibly like something on top of it. Something on top of it that like stands out from more of a distance. I guess the lights would be fine for that. We could also possibly go with a radar of some kind. Something like this. I don't know exactly what asset, but you know, like something to basically top off the top of that silhouette there would be good. And then yeah, this leaves me a good opportunity for adding like stuff to find around here, notes or items or whatever. So yeah, that's good. That bit is pretty good now. I'm gonna quickly go to the bathroom, possibly make another drink, and then we'll come back and continue working on this island. I'm not sure what my next plan of attack is. I'll just look over it and see. I kind of want to finish more of these rocks and then possibly look at some of the texturing work around here. Like the map is basically just all this one texture. This is an auto material, so this is all one kind of like you know, when I paint it, this is all kind of one thing. So I need to go around and like paint the shorelines with. I need to figure out what the shorelines are going to look like and all that kind of thing. Possibly just to remind me, I want to try this. I was thinking of having, probably be doing that on this layer. Some of the shorelines be kind of a little bit terraced. Hopefully Twitch isn't gonna have a panic attack at my Kiwi accent on that word. To maybe try stuff a little bit like this. Oh, there was a terrace option there. A terrace option right there. I didn't know was there. Good to know. That word. Please don't ban me, Twitch. Yeah, for some of these shorelines, basically. I mean, that's pretty ugly, but because a lot of the map is just kind of rolling hills and stuff right now, but I want to kind of do some more interesting terrain stuff. The terrain height map I made, but I generated in World Creator, World Creator, I think. I guess if you're following along the stream or the recording and making games and stuff, yeah, this is, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, the software I use to make the base landscape and then import into Unreal, and then I edit it from there. Same thing we did for the other maps. So this, you can just give it like a, an easy, like just show you a template type thing, but it's paid software though. So if that's a problem, obviously, I don't remember, where's the, oh, filters, here we go. Yeah, so you can kind of like play around with different, I think might have used ridged or something like that. I don't know. And then there's like a whole bunch of different options and whatnot, and add and close. And then the cool thing about this software is, where is it? Custom base shape. Edit shape. Yeah, where you can actually, like, a lot of these tools are procedural, like world, I can't remember what there's a node based one basically, but it's kind of like all node based procedural stuff. But I like this one because you can do the procedural detailing, like the mountains and stuff. I don't have to manually like do any of that, but then I can like kind of control the overall sort of shape as well. So yeah, I don't know, I quite like this one, this tool for that. Can't remember exactly what I fix. It's been a minute since I've done it. There was, maybe did they update this maybe? There used to be a way to show the water. I guess it's just not working. Show water. I need to go to the bathroom, but I'm trying to. Well, I don't know. You can download this and play around with it if you want. Show Ocean Plane. There it is. It's not that, is it? It is. It's just at the wrong spot. To basically get a feel for it, and that's kind of how I made the island shape. and then went from there. So yeah, if you're indie developer or anything, recommend this tool. It's pretty good. And then bring it into Unreal and then edit from there. So yeah, so the point is that's why this kind of looks okay from a distance, but when you get up close, like it's just not very interesting. So I'll go to the bathroom, make a drink, and we will continue on. coffee. New coffee. Maybe you could make a lighthouse. Ooh, that's a good idea. Gee, that's a really good idea. A really good idea. Lighthouse. Because light is kind of an interesting mechanic I'm going to play with in this hunt. You can see... do I have anything... How am I going to do this? Let me just do this on another screen, just because there's still a few things that I don't think I can show on stream, or at least I'm meant to try not to, just for a little bit longer. But I did make... Where is it? These? Yeah, I was playing around with some light particle stuff that I might use for some of the Mothman. But this kind of thing would probably work quite well for a... hopefully you're not on an OLED, by the way. I'm probably just absolutely blinding the crap out of everyone. 1:30 cup of coffee. Oh yeah, man, it's still morning. But yeah, so could be cool to do, like, pretend. Let's pretend that that thing out in the water was a... oh, how you going, by the way, Ranger? Nice to see ya. I set up my TikTok, by the way. Won't let me stream on it because it's you gotta have like 1,000 followers or something. So, you know, feel free to whip me up a quick botnet to yeah, I think this could be quite cool actually, because like, especially with the water, like the reflections and stuff, like making yeah, man, who said that? Who said lighthouse? It's the one I can't pronounce very well. Latu Latu Kamakaz. Latu, that works. Yeah, sorry, English is my second language. C# is probably my first language. Well, not really. Java. Not that I've written Java in years, but technically was my first programming language. Time to start posting on there. What do I post though, man? Like, I got no... Like, I just post like a bunch of selfies. Like, I feel old, man. Like, God. Sorry, I'm laughing because that's something my dad would do, or dad would say. It was just like... Anyway, clips of me mapping, game design, like... Yeah, but then I have to make videos, right? Or like, isn't TikTok you like do it in the moment? Like you hit record and like, so like what I'd get, do you, like, is this how this works, guys? You guys teach me. So I'd get out my phone and be like, ever wanted to place rocks in Unreal Engine? Check out this game I'm working on that has rocks, like for part 2. First one done. Someone clip that and send it to me. I'll put it on TikTok. We're gonna have 1,000 followers in no time. It was like half the screen's like a white box as well. Like it's not even... Yeah, I got video editing software. I use DaVinci like for trailers and stuff, but like I thought TikTok you have to, like, can you upload a video to TikTok? I thought you had to oh, I don't know. I guess I can research this in my own time. I'm gonna have to pester you guys with, can you fix my Wi-Fi? I mean, you can do that, but like also you could not do that. Why did the clip button pop up as soon as you said that? Oh, the what is this thing called? Twitch, you know, doing a wee bit of cheeky voice to text possibly on the stream. I don't know. Can do whatever. It's like YouTube. So, well, look, nephew, I need your help. No, I can figure it out. Anyway, I just want to let you know that the TikTok's there. I just need to, I guess, get 1,000 followers, which sounds really hard. Like, that's a lot of people. So how many people do we have in chat right now? 3? If everyone makes, like, around 300 accounts or so, then I'll be able to post shitty cropped versions of the stream on TikTok. Alright, anyway. Back to work, guys. Right, what's next? I'll adjust some of these trees, I think. Is a quick, easy thing to do that I have been meaning to do. We don't want trees and rocks. Although, you know how everyone was giving me such a hard time about the floating rocks in the other map? I'll have you know, I was playing Assassin's Creed Origins last night. Floating rocks. So, you know, just following suit of the AAAs there, I reckon. Get rid of these. I'll try my best to get rid of most of the trees that are actually like completely growing out of the rocks though. It doesn't, well, it kind of does look cool, but it doesn't make sense. Why it's so annoying to do floating rocks and trees that are floating and stuff like that, because like you just basically just manually go around and find the problems and delete them or move them. Come on. Why can't I? Let me select it. Why can't I select this tree? Is that just a... No, it is a foliage. Select. Ah. Okay. Move that one out because I do like the shape. That one adds like nice shadows and stuff over here. Actually, maybe it's not that one. But I do want to keep some of these trees. It's just the really messed up ones I'll move. Okay, this area is probably okay. I'm sure everyone will roast me in Discord if I did miss one. Any of you young eyes able to see trees and rocks anywhere? There's one. No, that's a bush. It doesn't count. I think we're good. I mean, it doesn't. I'm going to be doing a whole nother pass of this anyway. I just want to just roughly get this more. What's going on? Why can't... Oh, I am selecting. I just had this mode off, so I can't see what I'm selecting. Nice. Alright. Anyway, let's save. It's all chill, I just followed you. Nice. 1,000th of the way there. Trees can go out of rocks. Well, tell that to the bug reports channel, man. Apparently they can't. Okay, right. What's next? I was going to do some texture stuff. I might just hold off a second till I get this, because I still don't think we've kind of like nailed the layout of this area properly. I think this is kind of enclosed on this side. I do think it would be cool actually. Where's the... So this would go along here. We kind of have this natural barrier here. Let's do some more sculpting. Maybe this level, and turn the tool strength way down, because go too crazy with this, but because if I make it too flat it'll look really lame. But if I can get away with something like that. And then I can raise up some other parts. That that will let me basically make this feel like a separated section. Like right now it's kind of open plan. That's not the word for rocks in nature, is it? But you know what I mean, like it's kind of a open plan. So fucking tired, guys. I think I got 4 hours of sleep last night, maybe 5. Rough night with RV, okay. You can probably tell by my deranged behavior on the stream and lack of professionalism. But yeah, we can separate that area out a little bit to where it'll feel like its own kind of area of the map, which is cool. And then, yeah, you've got the whole, I was talking about it last stream, but you've got the whole decision-making process there. And then if I was to continue with that, we could have you come up this side, or I don't know if I'll actually use this building. It's just kind of a good like potential placeholder for where I'll put something of interest, something of about that size. To make this area a bit more interesting. Yeah, because the rocks definitely help it feel less like a I don't know why I'm so obsessed with rocks in this map, but there's just something about it that makes it feel better, feel cozy in a way. Like, I don't know if you remember what this area was like before, but this to me now feels a lot more like interesting of a layout, just because there's like more clear paths. So go down this way, which I'm not sure, this will be probably the settlement thing we were talking about, like, or go up to the radio tower, or go explore over here, rather than just big open open plan nature, you know. So I think we just kept this part off. Also, I'm still basically using this one rock. There is 2 of them, but this one rock is so versatile that I am not really feeling the need to use the other one. I don't think I've ever found a rock. Man, game development, like talking about how cool rocks are. I don't think I've ever found a rock that was so like rock pack, let alone a single asset that I've got so much use out of for in the map. Like, I don't know who made this, but it's so well designed because you can scale it, which sometimes you can't with certain assets because the texture texel density will get messed up. You see how the base texture of this is scaling beyond like what, like it's getting pixelated basically, but they've got these cool material effects going on where you can get away with scaling it quite a lot because they do, I think it's called like micro detailing, where you can see like basically like fake detail gets procedurally added to it to where it feels like it's not just been scaled like in an ugly way. You'll notice actually if you go back to the Night of the Wendigo map, the rocks I used for the walls and like around the shaman cave and stuff don't have that kind of thing going on. So if there's 2 rocks next to each other that are scaled differently, you can tell that the texture is a different size across them. So fun fact, I guess. I don't know why I felt the need to explain that, but yeah, I think these rocks are just so well made, you know, like they just, I have to dig into how they did this so well, because like it's also quite hard to tell where the seams are. I'm not entirely sure how they did that. it might be some triplanar stuff going on maybe. Cool. Okay, so we got this area now kind of like its own thing. In terms of the beachfront, sure if I want you to necessarily. I mean, it is quite a cool look down here, though, isn't it? I think for this spot, what we could do is have it in the flatten tool again, but just raise it, and we'll raise it to maybe this level. Tool strength, turn down the radius as well, and something like that, so it's like kind of like a lookout area. Tempted to do something like that again, but it might be overkill to do that again over here. Should I do rocks or should I do one of those things? Let's, I suppose, just do one of these. I've got it kind of more or less made already over here. That, and then we just make sure we've got snapping on and bring these back like this to however far we want this kind of like area to be, I guess. Probably just adjust these so that it's clear to the player, hopefully, that I'm not really intending for you to jump off there. And this bit is going to be a bit tricky as well, because people are definitely going to want to climb that, but it's probably okay. Actually, can you climb these? I'm not sure. Probably not. Kind of can. But the collision's all fucked up on it, so I'll need to fix that. But yeah, if I put like a little something out here, you know, kind of interesting to look at, I feel like. Especially if I finish across the river. Nice. Now we're kind of like, if I line this up properly, we're kind of directing the eye pretty much right to that tower, which is kind of cool with this. So this needs to basically be along, more or less along that path, ideally. Like that. Very good. And then for the outside of this, do that. Let's nudge this ever so slightly more into the thing, maybe out this way. So hide that seam there a little better. And then yeah, I don't know what exactly will be on this, but we'd have, I guess, some sort of trim asset. I don't know if they'd necessarily build that into the rock like that, probably, but probably not. Let's cap it with like one of those buttress things, possibly. Eyeball it, the evenness of it. Cool. Yeah, so then now we've got this area up here we can do something with, which would be cool. Not entirely sure what, but yeah, good location for something, whatever it might be. I wouldn't mind blending that a little better into the ground though. How would they do that? How would concrete just kind of? I guess would it be some sort of? It would be like some sort of steps, I guess. Should we just go 10 on this one because I just want an ever so slight lip there. Yeah, whatever. Pretty cool. Is there anything else that would make sense to put here? I could even like maybe turn this into like a proper like with an entrance and stuff. Possibly. Not sure. I might leave it how it is just so that I have that option if I want to. Just have it's quite tricky. Check community content. What oh, you probably put that. Is that the clip? Yes. I'm gonna watch it now. Cool. Ever wanted to place rocks in Unreal Engine? Um, check out this has rocks. Like for part two. First
Good.
one's done.
Perfect.
Come on.
Wicked. Gonna be famous. Nice. Appreciate it. It's so high quality content. All right. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this spot. I don't know whether I want to work on it more now or not. Also, that reminds me over here, I was gonna do a couple of pipes or something. Um, that actually also does remind me I should switch out some of these meshes. Just for like extra variety. Too many now, but whatever. I mean, it would make sense, right? Like they're trying to look out across the water and stuff. Gen Alpha is going to be hooked, I suppose. Cool. All right. Progress. Progress. So do something with that area. That's good. If we were gonna do a lighthouse, I could move this further out this way and put the lighthouse here. So that's good. Am I gonna keep these things? So what the point would be of them really? I want to use the interior, I guess, of these. I just like the way they look, basically. But that's not doing a lot for gameplay other than blocking your view, which is kind of valuable to be honest. Like I don't want you to be able to see I want to block your sight lines in a few places because it'll make the map feel bigger. Yeah, we could do that, I suppose. Kind of weird, but we could do that. Let's work on the terrain a bit here, I suppose. So if let's see, we start up here. I'm just gonna have a wee walk around. Keep up the good work. Oh yeah, no, nice to catch you though, Latu. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I will be streaming again, I'm sure. Fix the blurry assets. But yeah, this is feeling pretty cool. Here. No. I don't want to put too much detail into areas that don't have anything, because then people will think there is something. Why is that your starting hotbar? Oh, it's because that I mean it loads my save file in the editor, so like because I've been using cheats and stuff to test things, I it loads whatever I was testing with last, basically. Not sure what I'm gonna do over here. I should at least put some work into doing something with it so that it's doesn't look unfinished. but I'm not sure if I need to really put something down this end of the island or not. It depends if I need a spot for something else, I guess. Like this bunker here, what we could do. So we got that military place. We need, I see. Yeah, okay. I see what's gonna happen. We're gonna do this in this corner. Perfect. So I'll leave that for now then, because that will be its own thing, which we'll get to. Then let's see over here. I don't know, anything springing to mind for you guys for like just a random shorefront like this? I guess I just decorate it with stuff. Hopefully that's not too loud, by the way. Let me just scroll through some assets and see if I come up with any interesting ideas. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of keep it generic, and then if I get ideas later, I can add stuff. Let's see, we've got prefabs and stuff. We've got some particles. Yeah, we've got some decals and all that. Where is... around? These are like more prop assets. Which like I'm not gonna get like that fine detail just yet. That's like the next pass. Do we have any like props or anything with this? Details? More naturey bits. No, I'm looking for like interesting set piece things. What is that? This is going to be used in a different part of the map. I don't think I need to do anything with this here. What's this again? It's the ruins for Folklore Hunter. I mean, for Night of the Wendigo. We've got some totems and stuff. Okay, I think I don't really want to reuse too many assets from other maps. So I think we'll just keep going with the style we've got, and I'll just keep it generic, and then we'll add in some more set piece stuff later, like the lighthouse and maybe some campsites and stuff like that. So I'll keep it generic with kind of just the rocks and stuff for now, I think. Because I don't want to lock myself into a decision that is hard to undo. Like the more assets I place, the harder it's going to be to undo it. Let me quickly see, what is this called? Mothman TNT area. Hey guys. See if I get any inspiration from... Yeah, man, I could add boats. A lot of these just... regular bunkers. Paths between them. Pause the video there, my friend. Okay. What is a megascan? A megascan they're basically photogrammetry assets made by a company called Quixel. So like people go out and like take photos of rocks and trees and stuff. I'm not sure which ones we have, but I try not to use them too much because they're like they used to be free for Unreal, so a lot of people use them, but also they're pretty overkill in terms of detail a lot of the time. Just some random sandbags and like a sword for some reason, a table, I don't know why those are there, and looks like some textures. Yeah, some asphalt stuff. Park from the thing. Just put like a Folklore Hunter, a Night of the Wendigo theme park here. That wouldn't make sense. Mega gas can. No, not mega gas can, but there was a gas can in the mega scans pack, which I think is the one we use in the game. I'm pretty sure that's the one we use, isn't it? I guess you'd be the man to ask. Fairly confident that's it. Oh, raiding with a party of 10. Cody series? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Right as I'm fluffing around not doing much. But welcome in. We're working on a game called Folklore Hunter, doing some level design at the moment. Appreciate the raid there. Kind of a chill stream today, but yeah, we're just working on some level design for this co-op survival horror monster hunting game in Unreal. So yeah, I've just been working on this part of the island today so far. You can get kind of an idea of what this map's going to look like by this area. How's it going? Caliber Gaming, welcome in, nice to see you. How much have you made? I'm new. What do you mean? Of the game? I guess I can quickly show if you want. Folklore Hunter Steam. It's like there's two hunts right now, some contract stuff, like replayable contract stuff, and but yeah, we're working on the third creature hunt right now. So there's the Wendigo, and then there's Strigoi you can hunt in multiplayer. Strigoi are like kind of ancient vampires. So yeah, we're working on the third hunt right now, which is for the Mothman creature. And yeah, Jenny Ritual Grove, yeah, it's not really going to be exactly that anymore, but it's something I'll talk about in the next stream. It's one of the factions of this map, is going to be like the kind of mystical part of it. Right, so I think what I'll do to start is just do like sort this forested area out a little more, because this is where that Ritual Grove stuff is gonna be, is in this kind of area, I think. Now that I've developed this kind of spot out, the bridge which you'll go across, it feels like you start down here, there's a tower, there's some stuff around here, there's a tower here, the bridge. Feels like this is a good spot, and then it'll just kind of leave down this area that we need to do something with as well. But yeah. So what I was gonna do is, when's the next stream for may ask? I don't know, man. I don't really have a schedule. I kind of just like when I'm working, sometimes I'll just hit record. You know, like I work pretty much, you know, more or less 9 till 5 ish, 10 till 5. Weekdays my time, but I kind of just stream within that window somewhere. You're getting into game development. I'm a sophomore at college working with Maya, 3ds Max, Unreal Engine 5, and many more softwares. Just started working on my own game. Oh, cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm using Blender for this this project. But yeah, no, that sounds awesome, man. Blender, what else do we use? Substance Painter. Other Photoshop, you know. But yeah, I probably won't be doing any asset making today, but it's a solo, I'm a solo developer for the most part, so if you catch these streams, you'll see me doing all sorts of stuff. Sometimes it'll be making assets, modeling, texturing, making sounds. At the moment we're doing level design, programming, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, it's mainly level design at the moment for this and probably the next couple of streams, because I need to get the rest of this map sort of to the next phase so that we can start working on the gameplay elements of it. But yeah, definitely check out the game if you're interested, or join the Discord, or yeah, not sure if you're interested in more the development side of things or the game itself. We have kind of a mix here, but nice to have you all. Appreciate the raid too. Definitely, like, it'll probably give you a glimpse into what it's like to make games full time, but it, fair warning, can be a little boring at times also, because there's just boring stuff to do. Like tomorrow, on a sad day for me, I have to get up at an early time and have a meeting with some people about not sure if I'm allowed to say, actually. Sorry to bait you on that. I'm gonna have to ask about basically like some new opportunities for where you would be able to buy the game, if you catch my drift, but don't tell anyone I said anything. Just in case. I'm not sure if PR team would get mad about that or not. But yeah. So sometimes there's like just boring stuff we gotta do. I quite enjoy placing rocks, and so if you're into that sort of thing, you're gonna love this stream. Like, what does Bob Ross say again? Like, you know, like happy little accidents. That's kind of the phase I'm in with this part of the map right now. Is just kind of like just do whatever feels like right, and then we can edit from there. And that's kind of how my process works. Is like is just kind of do things in phases. Like just kind of do some stuff, see if it's cool, see if it's not, go with the flow, and then tweak it. That's why I'm on version 3 of this map. Yeah. That reminds me, how was the Wendigo sounds made? Which ones? The mimics are like, I voice acted them, and so did Banana Balls, my partner. The creature sounds were a mix of filtered animal noise. I can't remember what animal it was. I think it was a mix. But yeah. And then try to think, yes, some of them we got from different like sound library websites. Sound design is definitely tricky. It's also tricky to find good quality libraries to pull from. I think the latest one that a lot of people seem to use is Splice. Okay, let's see how this is feeling. This kind of area. Obviously, we need to do the forest and trees and stuff still. I've got to fix the damn blurry weapons and all that. Let's just drop all this stuff. Did those drop? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, cool. So just breaking up the sight lines in this area is a bit is good. There's an opportunity to put something out in the water there if we want. Possibly do one of these bunkers, I guess. Yeah, and I might leave some of this area a little more unforested, to be honest. Model hard surface in 3ds Max. Bring stuff into ZBrush sometimes for retopology, especially for game ready characters. Substance for textures. Just got done with the game jam. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, that's something I really want to, now that I have a bit more time, get back into is game jams. I haven't done one in so long. Yeah, no, that's cool, man. ZBrush scares the hell out of me. It's like so weird. The like like, what do you call it? The application design, I guess, or like just it just doesn't seem to follow like normal kind of like program principles, if you know what I mean. Where's that fish game? I don't know. Is that online somewhere? Fish v fish v fish. This is a long time ago now. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. What was that called? Let 'em. It's, yeah, I mean, you'd have to go digging to find it now, probably. Maybe one day I'll be able to find it again. Oh, wait, it's... It was basically like a joke of like you were playing as a fish, like I think it was a clownfish, um, in a fish tank, and then when the lights went off, it would turn into basically like a battlefield Call of Duty match. So the fish would all have guns and like bazookas and stuff, and it was just like a 20v20, I think, was the main mode. Just like AI, you know, deathmatch basically. It's like a reasonably violent thing. It was, I don't know, it was more for the joke than anything, but it was kind of fun though. That was a long time ago. That would be like maybe 8 years ago now, maybe more. Right. I kind of don't want to just keep doing the same thing with these rocks over here. Or do I? It's kind of a lot of area to fill with something, isn't it? You just have a path go through here. I just need to like somehow make this, some parts of this area just a tiny bit more like interesting, before I put all the trees and stuff on it, because there's like just not a lot going on here. It doesn't really have to be like interesting gameplay wise, but I do need to. Like that. Yeah, I guess. Why not? Gonna be the next, well, not the next thing, but at some point we're gonna have to look into the how I exactly am gonna stop people going into the water. Or what I'm gonna do if they do go into the water. And it's only money, we just warp them back to the shore, but I'm not sure if that's the best way to go or not with this. It's not going to be very immersive for a horror game to get warped around, I feel like. I mean, I guess there's something at least that makes this area slightly more interesting. Yeah, that's probably fine. Because we could do like a path through here just to quickly simulate a path. I do have a spline for it, but I'm just going to quickly paint in a path real quick just to get a feel for it. Now we're going to need tool strength way down in this case. To kind of try a little bit to straighten up some of this terrain a little bit. Semi straight now. Because what I want to try now is just see what this area will look like when I have the foliage and stuff in. Because I feel like this area would make sense to have... God damn, that's still really high, isn't it? Some foliage going on just to go alongside the path. Or what's kind of, I guess, going to turn into a path, it seems. So I can kind of try and get a feel for what we're looking at here. Potentially would want to block that sight line a little more hard out.
just whatever back here. We'll get to that area in a bit, but let's just see what this is like with like some form of density to the... Because this placement's random, I kind of like sometimes will just keep undoing and replacing until like if there's like a particular look I want in some cases. Because what I'm thinking now is for some of these, sorry, I should get rid of this gum in my mouth. It's kind of gross, isn't it? Is to have the trees, some of the trees kind of like tilt over the path a little bit. Why are these axes are all messed up? With some areas like this, I do want to control the foliage a little more to get like nice shadows. Yeah. Trust me, it scared me too. We learned that there's a tab called Dynamesh that you have to use when making a model, because without it you have really high topology. Yeah. Probably no custom loadouts and story hunts, I'd imagine. What is one thing I should know about Unreal Engine I wouldn't figure out without someone telling me? That's a tough question. There's definitely stuff like that. It's just hard to think of it in the moment. Like when I've trained people in the past, there's stuff that you just learn through trial and error. One in general, I guess, is definitely use source control. I see a lot of people not doing that, and that stresses me out. Like if you break something, corrupt something, if there's no way to go back, so make sure you do that. For Unreal specifically, I don't know. I guess these days, if you're using Unreal 5 and trying to make a game that runs kind of well, is definitely mess around with the rendering settings, because Nanite and Lumen and stuff is all on by default. A new person getting into game design, from a programming perspective, what was helpful for me was playing a game and then while I'm playing trying to think of how you could make a system like that, like how they made it, and then trying to make it myself. So I mean that's kind of for programming, but you might be able to do that with art as well if you're more of an artist. Like find a game you like and try and like like reverse engineer the process, or because at least for me that's how I learn most things, is by setting myself what is kind of seems like an impossible task. Like I'll be like, I want to do this thing, whatever it is, like make a I don't know, what's an example, make a weapon system or something like that, and I'll have no idea how to do it, but I'll just try anyway. So like being comfortable with not already knowing how to do something before you start, like just try. And because then you just Google, you figure things out, and then for me anyway, that's how I learn best. Is being like, okay, well I want to make a weapon system. What's the first step to that? Well, what maybe what game engine, or like how to make a game, or like what programming language, or like how do I put a UI element on screen? How do I get input? Like, and you just slowly, piece by piece, learn that way. Game design itself is hard though. I'm probably not the right person to talk about actual design. That's more development. Design, I really don't know. The only thing that I guess I try and follow as best I can, pretty much the only principle I have and try to follow, is like try to make stuff that you think is cool, because other people will probably think it's cool.
Like, I've made mistakes in the past where I've tried to make things that I think other people will like, but it's way better to be like really interested and excited about something you're making yourself and then have other people feed off that in terms of the design. But yeah, I don't know, that's kind of an abstract answer. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to keep you. Nice to meet you. Have a good one. Hit me up in Discord if you want. I can answer other questions. Right, so the next thing for this little area we're doing is I want to do slightly higher density areas. So for that, I want to use these. Maybe I should just do single for this. If I'm being this pedantic about where I want these to go. Because these low ones really help, I feel like, sell the feeling of a dense forest, even though the density is still basically the same. Like, I've only placed like 6 of these trees, or you know, whatever it is, like less than 10. But if you go back a few minutes ago, before I did that, how this path looked versus now, it looks and feels a lot more like alive and dense. That's a little like thing I stumbled across over time doing this kind of thing, is I guess it's a verticality situation, like trying to control sightlines in a way where you feel like where people see the things you want them to see when you want them to see it, like rather than just random chance, you know, can be a good impact. Because now you're walking along this path, where does this go? You know, like boom, you see this, and now you see the whatever's going to be out here, because a lot of that has been you know, blocked you know, to some degree by these trees. It kind of like it controls the flow of that kind of interest, rather than just like you see all of this at the same time and it's like, okay, cool, there's water, there's a bunker, whatever, you know, where's something else, you know. I find that can be quite helpful, is trying to yeah, just like be a little bit intentional in some places about particular placements. For example, I don't like that because it defeats the whole purpose. And yeah, I don't know what the point of this area is going to be, but now this area, to me at least, feels a lot more like it's made on purpose rather than just kind of random stuff. So this area I'm leaving, remember, because I'm going to do this ritual grove stuff or whatever. We need to do foliage down here, so I might as well do that now while I have some of this set up. So what I'll do is, again, just kind of line, because it's gonna, if I put these bushes down the bottom, it's gonna break up that line around these rocks, so they don't feel, it's just like the intersection's not quite as noticeable. Like over here, don't want to do too much in the middle just yet until I figure out if there's going to be forest here or not. Yeah, I don't know, a lot of this is personal taste too, like maybe some of you guys won't like the decisions I'm making or whatever, or don't think it looks good, but it's kind of what I was saying before, I just kind of have to follow what I think would be good and what I want to do, and you know, that's all I can really do, is make what I think is cool. But these trees don't really have much gameplay purpose. They're more for like setting the atmosphere and the vibe. Some of the stuff I place, like in the area we were just at, does have more of a gameplay purpose, like blocking certain sightlines and that. These ones are more just make the rocks and stuff feel a bit more like included in the map. rather than just kind of randomly like intersecting all over the place. I feel like it's just a process of doing this in passes like this, really. At least that's kind of what I've been doing. I'm not sure if it's the way to do it, but just kind of like start with like this. Eventually used to be just completely blank, more or less. If you go back to the start of last stream, a lot of this wasn't here. It's kind of just like figure out what the biggest thing is, where that should go, and then from that kind of like means, okay, I probably want to close this area off, so that means I put some rocks around, you know, and that means the path has to divert, and it's kind of just like, yeah, the process kind of like that for me, of just, you know, each decision leading into the next decision and doing things in passes so that I don't have to, like, say I wanted to change, like if I hadn't have thought about where these rocks were going ahead of time, and now I wanted to go back and move them. Well, now I've done a pass of these smaller trees, so now I need to go back and redo those as well. And it's just, yeah, like you just got to be careful about, I guess, when you do certain things as well. Like, you can always fix stuff, but it's a waste of time to fix more stuff than you need to. So just like try not to get, and I'm still not very good at this, but try not to get too ahead of yourself sometimes on detailing and that. That's why I keep saying that out loud as I'm making some of these areas, is I don't want to get stuck in the details, is because like where is it, that this thing over here is like, I don't know how many assets, like maybe 50 or so assets that you'll be a real pain in the ass to get rid of now, because I have to select them all or delete them or whatever. So yeah, putting that in, and then I haven't actually detailed much of this yet because I don't know exactly what I want there, so I don't want to put something in and then have to delete another 50 or 100 assets. So, you know. But yeah, anyway, these are just like my kind of rambling thoughts as I'm somehow getting paid to place virtual trees in a virtual landscape for people to watch online, which is pretty crazy. Trying to, like, you probably noticed, kind of try to avoid placing too many in the rocky part of the texture because it doesn't make a huge amount of sense. But yeah, I feel like this is starting to feel pretty good. That's kind of a nice shot right there. We try a couple of different times a day and we might have a wee walk around this area. But I've detailed it enough where the area feels cool to me and intentional, but I've left it blank enough where if I want to change this for something else or add in stuff here, I still can without having to undo too much. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, perfect. These trees I was talking about before, placing down the side, really help with interesting and dramatic shadowing throughout the day, as long as it doesn't get too dense. Like, that's getting blocked by a rock, I can't do much about that. But yeah, it's like the trees serve so many purposes, the trees and rocks, not only for sightline from my perspective, but sightline from the sun to the ground to where, I mean, if I turn off all the lighting, you know, that's what this scene looks like without any lighting or shadows or fog or anything. So you can see how much of a difference, like, just the lighting itself makes. This is basically just the lighting in the map, and the shadows and stuff. So I feel like it's important to think about that stuff too. Would you ever be down to join me and Dented the next time we go blow up the cryptids? Potentially, if it's a time that works for me. And do you guys run contracts? Or what have you been playing? Or are you doing... Oh yeah, you must be if you're doing blowing them up, yeah, of course. Of course you are. Okay, and then I don't know about these areas just yet. I mean, some of this is like I can't fully detail some of these areas because otherwise people are going to want to go there. Like I want it to be obvious there's nothing here if there is going to be nothing there. If that makes sense. I don't want to make it look like, oh, that's like someone's placed heaps of like stuff there and like there must be something hidden, you know. I want it to just be like, oh, okay, cool, there's like a little pointless beach down there, move on kind of thing. I actually do a little bit of fake terracing with rocks here. That might, yeah, that helps. That helps quite a bit actually, and it would probably help this area too. To help separate that path off a little bit. Yeah. It's like I'm using like such small parts of the rock, but I'm like kind of shaping the feel of this area even a little bit more, like the corners of the rocks. So this to me feels like we want to kind of make a bit of a statement in this area. Otherwise, looking out this way, it's all just trees as far, like empty trees as far as I can see, which in some cases is good, but I don't want to do that accidentally because this area has had nothing really done to it other than the landscape and a quick just drag over with some trees. So you can see the difference between this area and this area, and that's how this area started out. If you go back, like I don't know how long ago, half an hour ago, this part looked like this. So that's kind of the process I go through, really. This guy loves rocks. I really do, man. I really do. Which is such a psychotic thing to say, but I've I've always underestimated the power of rocks in these maps. Oh, they do have the same health. Strigoi should have different health values during the day versus night, but I'm not sure if the explosive damage or fire damage technically accounts for that. Okay, so we've got this path around here. I'm not sure where that goes, so I kind of want to... There's another thing I kind of do, and you've probably seen it if you're paying attention, is I'll like create small areas like this with a start and an end, but I won't always connect them to something else yet, because now it's like kind of, yeah, like what I was saying before, where depending what I do in this area, it leaves me the opportunity to either just make this path go around here or connect to this depending on like decisions further down the line. So I've done that kind of up here with this. This hasn't, this is still at the stage of like just a, more or less what I'm looking at with this is like what we're looking at before. I'm looking at this, basically just the shape of everything here. Not so much what the assets actually are or what the gameplay is. So I've done that here. You can see obvious kind of entrances to this area, but I haven't connected them. The road isn't connected. This isn't connected, and I don't think I connected this to anything yet either. Yeah. So that's just going to allow me to like not commit to that stuff just yet. So yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just it's my new hobby. One thing that could be cool, I don't know if this is going to be like too intense, but I'm sure everyone here has played Skyrim, right? They have this wicked rock formation. Maybe I do like rocks, guys. Solitude. I've always admired. Man. Is it like a thing when you get older you get into geology? Solitude. Skyrim.
This I've always thought was super badass. Fun fact, by the way, the guy who designed Markarth in Skyrim used to be my boss. I didn't work on Skyrim, but I used to work with him. And then the guy who did all the kill animations for Skyrim, like, you know, when you kill a dragon, that was a guy I used to work with as the animator on that project. And he was telling me stories about that particular dragon animation, where you like jump onto the dragon's head and stab it. He was telling me about how they had they mocapped it, and he was in the mocap suit, and they basically set up this table where he like basically climbed up the table and then like stabbed it with a stick. I thought that was pretty cool, pretty awesome to see like the behind the scenes on some of these, like what I would call real games. Anyway, side tangent. I like this thing, but I don't know if that's like gonna be too crazy for this game. It might, like, I don't know if it really fits the theme necessarily, but it would look real cool. That is kind of the point, isn't it? Like, in an area where I don't know what to do, I could just make a wicked rock formation. Wicked rock formation. Because yeah, like I'm trying to decide, I don't know what I want to do back here, basically. If I turn off foliage, that helps you see kind of, well, kind of takes away a lot of what you can see, but you can kind of tell where I've done stuff based on where the rocks are. So like there's this whole chunk right here and the starting area and a little bit over here that I don't need to finish or anything, but I at least need to think about what the plan is. And then this island, when we get to it, you can see is slightly smaller because it's kind of two major locations, but I still obviously need to do the areas out the front of all of this thing. And this is gonna need to be reworked as well, because there didn't used to be a lake there, and there didn't used to be, like, you used to be able to walk across here. So yes, we'll get to that. Right, let's go for a wee bit longer. I think all I want to do is do the areas that I know what I want to put in, because then they end up looking real cool like this. But I really need to try and refrain, because I need to know what this is going to be. So I think keeping this density of forest in the middle is good, because then I can do, for this spot up here, like maybe some campsites and stuff like that. So let's see, is there a way to thinking this through in my head. There's kind of a path that goes around this way, and the one that goes thinking around this way. So I'm thinking of dividing this up a little bit more, or what I'll do actually is I'll just go to the foliage tool, and I'm just going to nuke all the trees in this area so I know the sort of what I'm working with for this, whatever this is going to be over here. So we're going to lead up to that, we're going to lead down to there, and then there's just this whole bit here. Is there supposed to be anything else on this island? Not really, just the two towers, the start, and the grove.
If I just put something over here, I just want to see how this is going to feel, because like we've got paths down that way. Thinking I want to I just for some reason feel like this is too open. I don't know why, but it's my whatever in me is guiding how I'm making this map is telling me block this for some reason. So I'll do it and then I'll see what happens if I do that. I think it's just there was too many decision points here. Yeah. This will be a little dense area. Same with this. That goes up. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do here. I don't want to make another terraced area like this. I'm so scared I'm gonna get banned for them thinking I'm saying a different word. But ooh. Okay. I got something. I got something. Might work, might not work. If there was something over this side as well, just to like funnel this a little bit. As like a kind of a valley. Then what would it be like if I so slightly tilt these in like this. Try and do. Gonna work exactly, but since we're making bridges and stuff for this map, and that's kind of a little bit of a theme, like, what if we had one that went overhead here, basically? That's what I'm getting at. Because it feels, well, to me, it feels cool to walk under stuff. I don't know why. But like, it feels like interesting, I think, to go under elements like this. So if I did, yeah, that's gonna be it. Because then if this was like a camp or some sort of like POI, there's still open area here. You can get under the bridge and go around and go across it. So it's actually making that part of the map bigger without increasing the footprint much. Oh yeah, crouch jump. Apparently you can crouch jump in this. Yeah, this is gonna be cool. All right, so we'll do something like that for up here. Then we'll have that's what this intermediate area is gonna be. Is like some sort of extra bridge. Don't know why they would build a bridge there. We'll figure that out later, but it's cool. So let's do it. Frame this. Yeah. Okay, now we're talking. Could be like a hanging bridge, I'm not sure. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. And now we actually, that's given me another idea where sculpt, let me save the map just in case I change my mind on this. To make this actually like more of a valley than it is. So we have even more verticality going on. If I grab flatten, we just if I can't think of any interesting objects to place here, then at the very least what I can do is make slightly more interesting terrain. And usually the only way I really know how to do that is elevation changes. Into an area like this. Okay, and then down here, let's continue this a little further, and then I can blend it over here somewhere. I mean, this just goes downhill again, so that can just go all the way like that. In terms of the bridge, I'm still not sure how that's going to work. But yeah, that's cool. I like it. I like it. You might not be able to see what I see because it's like it looks like garbage in like visually what you can see, but I'm seeing the like the vision in my head appear, which is good. Just basically, I'm gonna funnel you down this bit. That's another thing I feel like is interesting in horror games, especially, is like times where I take control away from you can feel a little bit uncomfortable. So forcing you as your only option to go down here where, you know, potentially feeling vulnerable from both sides is just good opportunity for that. Add more rocks. Can't tell if you're joking or not, but I am absolutely going to add more rocks. But I am also going to hop off here soon. To get the idea sort of in, have whatever, however this would go past something like that. Obviously this will probably connect up here and this will go somewhere. Because that all came out a little too dense. I'm actually just very hard to see what I'm doing, but I'm painting in like a little bit more of this grass again, so that a little bit of this kind of detail comes back. And then you guys know the process. You've seen me start from something ugly like this before and then get to something that looks cool. 10 times the amount of rocks. Honestly, by the time this map is done, probably will be 10 times the amount. Well, maybe not 10 times, but a lot more. I don't know, probably 70% of this map so far is the same rock over and over again. Which sounds bad, but the rock asset is so good that it's not causing problems. Like, I'm not seeing, if I see obvious like repetition, then I'll change it. But so far I haven't seen a lot of cases where I've needed to do that. So that area is gonna have to be like, I don't know how we're gonna get up this bit exactly, or what is gonna be there. It could be stairs, could be like a ramp. I'm not sure yet. Just love rocks, guys. Look at this. It looks awesome. Hope I'm not just having like a psychotic break and it actually looks like crap and no one's telling me. But I feel like that looks wicked. And then we'll figure out obviously the gameplay elements as well. Like I could put some, it just depends like if I need to make this area important to the game or not. I don't want to overdo it where like every single area is something you're supposed to interact with or do, because it's like a hunting game at the end of the day. So like I want to leave room for you to man, what's going on with my voice? Room for you to like explore kind of, you know, slightly more just like open-ended areas yourself, set up traps and all that too. But my goal with this map was to try something slightly different with this hunt than I've done before, but still keep the spirit of what I liked about the last ones. So that's why this one has like a little bit more direction. I'm saying that's good. It's good. It's good you guys see that this is helping and not me just like going mental. A versatile rock, yeah, I really do. It's actually, yeah, blowing my mind a wee bit. Cool, so now, yeah, it's just a case of kind of doing what we did down this kind of area with this spot, but I'm not going to go too hard out again because this bridge, as I said, I'm still not entirely sure how that's going to work or what's going to go there. I will save that so far though. I do think that is good enough to warrant a save. I think the only other thing that I want to do for the major look of this is just frame the end of it slightly more if I can. I feel like, yeah, we just need slightly more of an interesting framing when you reach the end of this, like that, I think. That's it. I don't really like what this has done to this layout, but I can fix that. That's fine. I like from this angle though. It's hard to see with the bridge there now, but it's still bugging me, this part. It's I'm basically just trying to draw people's eyes to this spot in a way that doesn't look cheesy. That's why I'm trying to like angle the rocks to, you know, basically point your eye somewhere. Layout of that exactly. But yeah, that feels cool, I think. Definitely need obviously more assets and foliage and stuff, but this hopefully will feel a lot like, especially like if I make it nighttime and if there was proper lighting and stuff. Yeah, like you can kind of see what I'm going for here with the feel of this. Enclosing in on you like this, to me feels, yeah, like good for a horror game and good for directions, and I don't know how to put it into words. It just feels like what I need to do for this spot. And that leaves me this little plateau area to do something. It frames from this side the bridge perfectly. You can see the tower, and there's a tower back there. Why that tree is on a lean. Yeah, and then up here, because I'm moving at max speed right now, I'm actually sprinting. So I want to make sure it doesn't feel... That was one of the problems I felt in the Bloodfang hunt, is the amount of time you were moving between locations to me was too high versus how often you would find interesting things. So there's still got to be some of that, but from where I am right now, I can see there's a tower. I could go explore that. I can see the lighting is doing its job at nighttime, like that's drawing my eye. You know, I can see this bridge here, depending on how I light that. And, you know, I can just see into like dense forest across the bridge. You know, and then I can see this bridge down here, which is going to have fences and stuff. I can see the radio tower across there. Yeah, there's just kind of like interesting stuff. Well, the goal anyway is to have interesting stuff kind of no matter where you are to go towards and look at, basically. So that's pretty good progress for today, I think. Still a bit more to do, unfortunately, but I mean, that's alright, it just takes time. I'll have a think about what I'm going to do for some of these areas, like where I'm going to leave not much happening and where I'm going to put stuff. Because right now, yeah, this is kind of one of the slightly more finished forested areas. So if you're wondering about the density and what it will look like when you're in one of the more like open foresty parts, this is kind of, you know, almost what I'm going to be going for, just with a few more rocks and a bit more bushes and stuff like that. So yeah, basically anywhere I've got trees and forest that look like this, I don't even know if you can tell the difference, but yeah, like over here, the idea is like once I've done the full pass, it's going to be like this. So you can see we're kind of leading you around this bend. Like, I don't like that tree there because that cuts off the fact you can't tell the path turns there. Especially if I put a light or something there. And then yes, the outer edges of these kind of forested areas are going to be like more dense looking because there's like foliage at your eye height. But then as you breach through this, it kind of opens up and is more patchy. So yeah. And then there's like a few areas like we put work into making sure if you were to explore this forest, you know, hopefully you can feel that I've put effort into making it so that there is interesting, like every area feels like I've done it on purpose. So yeah, like the sight lines, and yeah, it doesn't feel like all procedural or anything, hopefully. Obviously this path needs to go because you can't get across there anymore. But so yeah, we've got to just do this spot. We've got to do a little bit more work in the start area, but a lot of what's left is just going to be that foresty stuff I was just showing you. I'm just trying to get in the last few spots like this that aren't just forest, and then the rest of it is going to be like a 20-minute job to just, you know, just paint trees basically. So yeah. That's kind of what we're going for there. I'm going to quickly, before I finish the stream, just nuke some of the trees around this area so that I spot it as an area I need to do something in, because that is my plan. This area is already nuked a little bit, and then around here. So on this island, once it's done, the forest is all going to be kind of connected, but primarily it's going to be this side of the island that will be more densely forest. And then as you head more and more towards the military base and the research facility, it's going to get more and more like more buildings and human structures. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed that and got something interesting out of my ramblings. We made quite a lot of progress today, even though there's still a lot of gaps. Like, I'm really happy with, yeah, I think we focused in the right areas today, basically, and getting the big set piece things that matter in, and then filling it in from there. So yeah, thanks for tuning in.